Hello guys, welcome once more to Physics 2020 Jamb past question. My name is Mr Dami, and in this video we shall be looking at question number 6 to number 10 of 2020 Physics Jamb past question. And don't forget to like our video so that you can get more from us from time to time. Click on the subscribe button if you like this video. Then we have much to share with you, we have much to simplify, we have much to make plain, and you'll be good on your journey. Okay, so let's get back to number 6 of the question. Number 6 question says, which of the following statements about radioactivity is true? Alpha particle is positively charged, beta particle is negatively charged, gamma ray is neutral, beta particle has the same mass as helium atom, then gamma ray is charged. Now, which of them, do you remember anything about radioactivity, the breakdown of radioactive materials? No, it is the spontaneous, continuous disintegration of radioactive material. That's the meaning of radioactivity. But actually, they are talking about alpha, gamma, and beta. Yes, those are the three radiations in radioactivity. Those are the three major radiations that you were taught in school about in radioactivity. Now we have to know, are they right when they said alpha particle is positively charged? Is that right? Then is beta particle truly negatively charged? Then is gamma ray neutral? Then the other things that they say, are they all true? Now which one is true? Okay, let's check it out now. Let's do a quick reminder. Now what we have there is you can see the green guy. Do you remember that guy? Hawk, the Hawk. You know, according to the story, the Avengers movie, Hawk came from gamma radiation. He was exposed to too much gamma and he became the Green Hawk that we all know. You know, the man Smash, the Smash guy. Okay, good. So this guy represents my gamma. I just kept him there for gamma radiation, don't mind me. Okay, good. So let's talk about alpha, beta, and gamma. Now, you know, alpha radiation has one thing that you must know about alpha is that the most important thing that you must know about alpha to answer this question is that alpha is positively charged. Then beta is negative. The reason why alpha is positively charged is because alpha has a lot of mass. The mass of alpha came from proton and neutron. You know, they both have one mass. So alpha has high mass, right? But that's 2 proton and 2 neutron. But beta has no mass because beta ray is made from electrons which are negatively charged. So beta ray is negative, alpha is positive, then gamma has no charge because gamma ray is an electromagnetic wave. Okay, so it has no mass, it is pure energy. So good. So that's why the people can say that all came from gamma ray because gamma ray is pure energy. It is an electromagnetic wave that travels through no medium. Okay, so first of all, know also for the sake of later learning, for more learning, that alpha ray has low penetrating property. Look at the picture I have there. Alpha ray could not pass through paper skin. Yes, but beta ray can penetrate more than alpha ray. So beta ray has higher penetration. It could pass through paper, but couldn't pass through aluminium. Okay, now, but the last ray, gamma ray could pass through paper, could pass through aluminium, even could pass through lead. Okay, but just gamma ray couldn't pass through 2 inches lead. So gamma ray's limitation is 2 inches lead. So the one with the highest penetration power is gamma ray, and the least is alpha ray. Okay, good. Then talking about ionization power. Okay, we give that to alpha ray. Alpha ray has the highest ionization power, followed by beta. Then the least belongs to gamma. So the answer to that question, the first option said alpha ray is positive charge. That's true. Beta ray is negative charge. That's true. Gamma ray has no charge, is neutral. That is also true. Then the next one said beta particle have the same mass. Mass for beta, you know, beta are made from electrons. From electrons. So that means electrons have no mass. So to say that beta ray have mass is wrong. Okay, then the gamma ray is charged. Now you can't say that gamma ray is charged because we said in option 3 that gamma ray is neutral. So option 5 says that gamma ray is charged. That is also wrong. So the correct answer is 1, 2, 3, making option B the correct answer. Is that clear? I believe that's clear, right? Now, so now you could explain radioactivity talking about alpha, beta, and gamma ray, right? Now let's check out the next option now. The second question said, in the study of physics, temperature and heat are often confused with each other. Which of the following statements correctly define these two elements? Now, some people say that heat and temperature is the same thing, but those people are wrong, and I will prove them wrong in this video. Okay, now let's explain what's the difference. The option A says temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the molecule of the substance, while heat is a measure of the total kinetic energy of the molecule in the system. Then C said different materials require different amount of heat to cause a given change in temperature, and D said all of them are correct. Now let's check out the option to see which one is right. Now I just drew heat there and I drew temperature there as two warriors. They want to fight each other. Now heat and temperature, the first thing that you must know is that heat and temperature are not the same. Say that to yourself. They are not the same. Heat is a form of energy, but temperature is not energy. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness, while it is a form of energy that moves from hot body to cold body. So it is moving energy. That's it. But temperature is a degree of hotness or coldness. Now, the second most important thing that you must know about heat and temperature that will help you to answer this question is that heat is total energy, while temperature is average energy. And I will explain that right now. In my picture there, on my slide there, I have what you can see there. I have 2 cups of water, 2 big cups of water. One has lower water and one has higher water. And the 2 of them, let me tell you now, that the 2 of them are the same temperature. Let's say that the 2 of them are 10 Kelvin. 10 Kelvin, 10 Kelvin. But notice one thing, one is larger than the other. Now, they have the same temperature, but they don't have the same heat. Telling you that temperature and heat are not the same. They are both 10 Kelvin, 10 Kelvin. But because of quantity, it takes double the amount of heat it will take to get the first one to 10 Kelvin to get the second one to the 10 Kelvin. Telling you that heat and temperature based on quantity are not the same. Do you get that now? So 2 materials can have the same temperature like these 2 guys, 10 Kelvin, 10 Kelvin. But because one is larger, it has more heat. That means it takes more heat to bring the larger one to 10 Kelvin than the smaller one. So based on amount, heat is not the same as temperature. So let's check out the option that is right. The first is that temperature is the measure of the average kinetic energy. That is true. Then heat is total energy. That is true. But C said different materials require different quantity or amount of heat to cause a change in temperature. C is also correct. But this now said all of them. So that means the option that is correct, you can't say A is correct because it's not only A that is correct. B is not the only one correct. C is not the only one. So the correct answer to that question is therefore D. That says all of them are correct. All of the above. And that gives us the answer to that question. Is that clear? Okay, now let's get to number 8 now. Number 8 question says the effect of closing the key K in the circuit in fig 1 will be what? Is it increase? A says increase the circuit by 0.4 ampere. B said reduce the circuit by 0.4 ampere. C said increase the circuit by 0.6 ampere. And D said reduce the circuit by 0.6 ampere. Now this you can see ampere is in the option there. That means this question is really asking you that find the current, the total current, right? Now look at the question there. Now what you are seeing in the picture there is an open circuit. Now I have to close it. If I close, now in this question I will be solving 2 things. I will first of all solve the current for the open, like the way it is now. Then I will now find the current for the close. Now the question said the effect of closing it. What will be the effect of closing it? Then what will be the difference? That means what will be the increase in current when you close the circuit? Okay, so let's check it out. Now first let's take when the circuit is still we will solve for open and close. So we will begin with that now. Let's find the current when the circuit is open. Now this is the open circuit. That means this is supposed to be not open. This is supposed to be closed. Sorry about that. This is supposed to be a closed circuit. Okay, now this is closed because it is not. Of course, you can see the drawing. The rectangle is fully formed. Okay, so that is closed circuit. Take note of that. Now let's talk about this now. Now finding the total current. Now how do you find current? Now we have two resistance. We have 8 ohm and we have 2 ohms, right? Now 8 ohm and 2 ohm, the first thing to do is to make them to become 1 ohm by adding them together. You know, that is a series connection. How do you know series? They are on a straight line. See, series 8 and 2 are in series because the two of them are on a straight line. That's series. Okay, good. So if you have a series drawn like this and you are trying to find the total resistance, just plus the two resistance together, that will give you 10 ohms, okay, as your total. Now to find the current, you've gotten 10 ohm as your resistance and 6 volt as your potential difference. To find the current, you can only find current in such case by using the Ohm's law. Okay, the Ohm's law said that voltage is equal to IR. That's Ohm's law. Okay, now make I the current, the subject. So I equals V over R, and my V in the question is 6. My total resistance is 10. So that will give me 6 over 10. So the total current of this closed circuit is 0.6 ampere, right? Good. Now let's check out the next one. Now let's talk about open circuit now. Now for the open circuit, you can see it is open below. Okay, good. So the first thing you have now in this one, you have both parallel connection, that's 8 and 8, and you have series connection. Now series is this way, parallel is always upside down, that's up and down, while series is always flat, straight, horizontal. Now let's begin with the parallel. So now whenever you have 8 ohm and 8 ohm parallel, if you want to solve any parallel connection to find the total resistance in the parallel setup, what you have to do is to say 1 over the resistance total. That's the formula. 1 over, that's for parallel connection. 1 over the resistance total equals 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8. That's R1, R2. Giving me 1 over resistance total equals 2. That's 1 plus 1, 2 over 8. That's the way you solve for fraction. Then you cross multiply 2 resistance total equals 8. Divide both side by 2. Resistance total is what? 8 over 2, giving me 4 ampere as my resistance, but that's for only the parallel. Now you've gotten the parallel now as a single one. Now mix it with the series. That will become 4 plus 2. Now you know when you finally got the answer for the two parallel, you got one answer, 4 ohm. Now that one answer is now straight with the 2. So that's 4 and 2, giving me series connection. If you master this, if you get this question, you'll be able to solve a lot of questions on circuit in physics, because this question will open you up to a lot of questions. You can just take a past question and start solving, because if you have mastered how this is done, then you'll be very good with different questions on circuit, and I can assure you of that. Now let's go on from there. So we have 4 ohms, and then we have 4 ohms and 2 ohms, right, on a straight line, because the summary of the two parallel connection, 8 ohm and 8 ohm, is 4 ohm. 4 and 2 in series is 4 plus 2, that's 6. You plus them up, you get 6. So my total resistance for this open circuit is 6 ohms. Okay, now the current, now using Ohm's law, current is voltage over resistance. My voltage is still 6 over 6, giving me 1 ampere as my current for the open circuit. Now to find the effect on current, which the question is asking, what you are supposed to do is to take the answer of the current for the closed and the answer of the current for the open, and minus that, find the difference, and that will give you 0.4 increase. It will increase by 0.4. So the answer to that simple question is therefore option A. Increase the circuit by 0.4. Don't forget how I solve it. The series connection formula for resistance is not the same as what you will do when you get to parallel. They are different. Parallel is just 1 over R total plus 1 over R1 plus R2. But for series, it's just to add them up. R1 plus R2. So if you get that, you'll be able to use it with the Ohm's law to find any other thing that has to be found. So that is number 8. And let's talk about number 9 now. Excuse me. Now, which of the following statements on the use of X-ray is incorrect? Now, which of the following statements on the use of X-ray is not correct? Now, you've been taught about X-ray before, maybe in year 12 or whatever. Now, but X-ray, you know, when you talk about X-ray, now which one do you think is wrong? Now, A says used in the hospital to obtain photographs of tissue and bones in the body. Is that correct? Then for the treatment of malignant growth like cancer cells. Is that correct? Now, which one is wrong? In detecting fingerlings. Is that correct? Then to review hidden flaws in metal casting and welded joints work of art. Now, which one is wrong? Now, let's take a look once more at X-ray as a quick reminder. Remember, X-ray is an electromagnetic wave. What does that mean? It's a wave that travels through nothing. That means it doesn't travel through a medium. It travels through emptiness or vacuum. So it is an electromagnetic wave. Okay, so X-ray is found now. Whenever people are used to X-ray, when we talk about broken bones, like if there's an accident and somebody's bone is fractured, you say go for an X-ray and check which part of the bone is broken. So an X-ray will show you. Now, but how does X-ray work? You know, X-ray work by sending electron through the body. So when you expose the body, although you don't directly expose the body to X-ray because it can cause cancer. Okay, but also, and it can also be used to kill cancer, but it can also cause problem because it can cause mutation of your cell and it can cause baldness. There are some negative effect of exposing the body to X-ray. So, but generally, when you have something to coat your body and you expose your body to X-ray, then when the X-ray touch the body, it penetrates because X-ray have strong penetrating power. Okay, it penetrates through the bone, and what X-ray does is that when it penetrates through the bone, it will cast a shadow on any screen behind the hand. It's like I put a light to my hand in the dark room. I put a light to my hand. You know, when the light shines on my hand, it will cast a shadow on the wall behind my hand. So that's the way X-ray works. Electrons are released towards the body, and then it casts a shadow showing the bones inside the hand. That's the way X-ray works. Now, X-ray can be used for all this to detect crack in material. So if you have a metal and you cast X-ray on it, it will show you the inside of the metal behind it. Okay, good. So from there you can find if the material is cracked, you will know. Then also, as I said before, it can be used to find broken bone in human body. X-ray can also be used for that. Then to diagnose ulcer and kill cancer, X-ray can also do that. Then to study the inner part of crystal, X-ray can do all this. But which one can't X-ray do? Okay, now let's look at the options again. Now, used in the hospital to obtain photographs of tissue and bones. Yes, it can also show bones. Yes. B, treatment of malignant growth of cancer cells. X-ray can treat cancer. Then C, in detecting fingerlings. X-ray can't. That is not among the list. Fingerlings is not among the list of what X-ray does. So that is the wrong answer, and that is the criminal we are looking for. Now, this is to review hidden flaws in metal. Yes, X-ray can do that also. So the wrong answer is option C. Now let's check out the last question for this video. It said in the above diagram, MN is perpendicular to ON and MP. What is the difference between the moment about N of the force of 20 Newton applied along MP and its moment about O? Now, when you hear the word moment, something should come to your mind. Force times perpendicular distance. Anytime you hear any question on moment, you should remember the formula force times perpendicular distance. Now, actually, that formula is the same formula for work. If you can remember, work is also force times distance. But the difference is that moment is force times perpendicular distance, and moment is measured in Newton meter. But work is force times distance, not perpendicular distance, but force times distance, and it is measured in joule. Work is measured in joule. Moment is in Newton meter. So let's go to the question now. Now look at the force 20 Newton acting backward, but there is no distance. Where is my distance? From the 20 Newton, the distance is the first thing I have to find. I have that drawing triangle. Okay, I have my distance D below from 20 Newton to N, about N. So the first thing I will do to find the distance is to find the D below. That's the red D below. That's my distance. So you know, if you have a triangle and I have to find the distance, that's the side below, you have to use Pythagoras rule. So hypotenuse square, opposite square, equals opposite square plus adjacent square. So 0.5 is my hypotenuse square plus opposite square 0.3 plus adjacent d square. So I will now have 0.5 square is what 0.25 equals 0.3 square is 0.09 plus d square. So the 0.09 will move to the other side. That will give me d square equals 0.25 minus 0.09, giving me 0.16. So my d square will now become, the square will become square root of 0.16, giving me my d, or my distance, as 0.4. Okay, now having gotten your distance, now taking movement about end point, the force times that distance. The force in the drawing is 20 Newton times the distance that I got times 0.4, giving me 8 Newton as my movement about end. Now look at the drawing is there. Now taking movement about O, now look at the second drawing, is the same force going upward, but the distance from that point to O is also 0.4, but it is in the upper part. 0.4 up and 0.4 that is still the same thing. So it is still force times distance from movement, 20 times 0.4, giving me 8 Newton meter, and that is my second movement. So the difference is just minus 8 minus 8, giving me 0 Newton meter as my movement. So the answer to that question is simply 0, and that is the answer. So this brings us to the end of this video. Please, if you like this video, don't forget to like us, to like the page, and also to subscribe and tell your friends about us. We hope to send more fun-filled videos from time to time to you to help you in your journey of learning physics and other subjects. So until we see you next time, take care of yourself. Bye for now.